Dear students, welcome to this MOOC. MOOC stands for Massive Open Online Course. In this MOOC, we shall be providing you a variety of multimedia enriched e-content, activities and assessments in a very learner friendly manner so that you are able to understand the various topics of this course very well. Let me now tell you briefly about the structure and main features of this MOOC. The entire MOOC has been divided into various weeks so that you can plan your learning in a very logical and systematic manner. It is advised that you must actively participate in the various components of this MOOC, that too regularly on a weekly basis. For every weekly schedule, you are first advised to watch 2 to 4 videos assigned to you per week. Then you must read the learning material provided as e-text and also go through other content in the Learn More section. After this, you are advised to carry out the various activities like taking part in the discussion forums, visiting the related web links which we have provided for you, attempting crosswords, etc., earmarked for each week. After this, to test your knowledge of what you have learned during this week, you must attempt the quiz in the assessment section for that particular week. I wish you all the best in this very interesting self-learning experience. Please remember, we shall always be there with you to provide you support for any problems you face. The MOOC coordinator along with junior faculty as tutor shall always be available to solve your queries which you can post in the discussion forums or you can send them to us through mail which shall be notified to you soon. We would be very happy to know your experience after the completion of this MOOC in the form of your feedback which will help us enhance the quality of this MOOC further. Dear students, after understanding the general MOOC structure, let us now understand the weekly structure and what all you will be going to study in this course on fingerprints and other impressions by the MOOC coordinator Dr. G.S. Sodhi.
Dear students, welcome to this course on fingerprints and other impressions for postgraduate students. This course, which you are supposed to complete in 15 weeks, has been developed in a very systematic and logical manner. In the first week, you will learn about the introduction to fingerprints, wherein you will be made familiar with the history of fingerprints and how it originated in India, and also the basis of fingerprint identification, comprising of the fundamental principles on which this science is based, as well as the functions of finger ridges and various ridge patterns. This will be followed by the second week, in which various fingerprint ridges and ridge characteristics will be taken up in detail in concert with fingerprint classification system. In the classification system, you will be studying about the 7 types in which fingerprints can be easily classified. These include primary classification, secondary classification, tertiary classification, and so on, with the last type being the key classification system. In the third week, you will study about the different types of physical and chemical methods of latent fingerprint detection, including the powder method, the physical developer method, the iodine method, and the silver nitrate method. For instance, in powder method, you will learn how a powder reacts with the sweat components and helps in development of latent fingerprints. Similarly, in case of iodine and silver nitrate methods, the fatty acid and the salt components present in the sweat react with the respective reagents and develop sharp and clear fingerprints. After studying the physical and chemical techniques, in the fourth week, you will be made familiar with the detection of latent fingerprints by some amino acid specific reagents and also by cyanoacrylate method. The amino acids present in the sweat residue react with specific reagents such as ninhydrin and DFO. The prints developed by ninhydrin result in the formation of purple colored impression. In the same way, cyanoacrylate, which is a fuming technique, reacts with fatty acid components of sweat and develops white or pale yellow colored fingerprints. In the fifth week, detection of latent fingerprints on wet surfaces and some other impressions will be taken up. The detection of latent fingerprints on wet surface can be done by two relatively new techniques. These are the small particle reagent, abbreviated as SPR, and phase transfer catalyst, abbreviated as PTC techniques. On other surfaces, the vacuum metal deposition method can also be applied for the detection of latent fingerprints. In the 6th and 7th weeks, you will learn about the use of multi-metal deposition for latent fingerprint detection and some recent chemical techniques for detection of latent fingerprints, which includes the fluorogenic reagents, Nile red, ruthenium tetroxide, and oil red O respectively. The 8th week shall be a revision and assessment week for you. By this time, we will come to the middle of this course. So in this week, you are supposed to revise what you have already learnt in this course over the past 7 weeks. We will give you assignments which you are supposed to submit in time. Please also note that the marks obtained by you in these assignments shall count towards your grades in the final assessment. In the 9th week, the main focus will be on how blood prints can be detected and also on the detection of latent fingerprints with the aid of nanotechnology and lasers. The 10th week will introduce you to fingerprint enhancement techniques and digital imaging of fingerprints, wherein you will be studying about how the latent fingerprints can be chemically and digitally enhanced, and also how the developed prints can be further processed digitally. In the 11th week, you will be made familiar with the importance of fingerprint databases, in which you will get to know about automated fingerprint identification system, which is abbreviated as AFIS, and the role of statistics in fingerprint analysis. This will be followed by the 12th week, where you will learn some techniques by which latent fingerprints can be detected in special cases. Here, you will study about how fingerprints can be obtained from a deceased person and also from evidence that has been subjected to high temperatures, such as in the case of arson. In a crime scene, one will not only encounter latent fingerprints but some other impressions as well. Keeping this in mind, in the 13th week, you will learn about the importance of footprints and shoe prints in forensic casework. Also, you will be studying about how you can collect and preserve these impressions. In the 14th week, which will be the last part of this course, some other impressions which are also important from the forensic point of view will be taken up. These impressions include the lip prints and ear prints, and you will also be studying about biometry, poroscopy, and edgeoscopy, which are considered to be the third level study of fingerprints. The 15th week will once again be a revision and assessment week for you. Here also you will be given assignments, and once again I reiterate that you are supposed to submit these assignments in time. After the completion of this course, there will be a proctored examination about which you shall be notified at appropriate time. Dear students, I am sure you will find this course very interesting and enjoyable. Please go through the entire e-content, which includes self-learning videos, e-texts, and learning modes, etc. very thoroughly, and perform the various activities and assignments of this course sincerely. I am quite confident that going through this course shall be a great self-learning experience for you. I wish you all the very best.